In this, the third of my Red Hat Insights domain join demos, I will launch a virtual machine and we will observe it automatically join the domain. Which domain? This one here. We registered this domain in the first demo. And in the second demo, we defined and built a virtual machine image which contains the IPA HCC client RPM. So let's now launch this image. We're going to launch it in my AWS account in the default region. We select the instance type and we do need to select the domain join demo template. I defined this template with DHCP, DNS and network settings that ensure that the virtual machine that comes alive in this environment will be able to reach Red Hat Hybrid Cloud Console and will also be able to resolve the domain names and reach the IPA service in the deployment. We need to select an SSH public key because the launch dialog requires it. However, we won't need to use this key for authenticating to the machine. Because the machine will automatically join the domain, we can use the accounts and the authentication mechanisms in that domain. So let's launch the machine. In a moment, we'll get the instance information, including the public IP. So we won't use the EC2 user account, but instead we'll use this account EIDP. It does take a minute for the virtual machine to come up, register with Subscription Manager, connect to Insights, and then for the auto join machinery to connect to the directory and domain services service to ask if there's a domain to join. And at that point, our service will respond, well, yes, here's the domain information. And that will enable the machine to contact the IPA server, present a signed authority to join. The IPA server will prepare the host entry, and then the machine can automatically join the domain. So that will all happen automatically. It will take just a minute for it to do that. In the meantime, on the IPA server, where we're already authenticated as the admin user, we can list the hosts. We can see that actually the machine has already joined. We can also list the user. And this user is configured to use the external IDP authentication type. And the configured identity provider is GitHub. Okay, so let's now connect. It's telling us to go to the GitHub OAuth2 device authentication endpoint. We need to remember this pin 5511 3115. Okay, 5511 3115. Let's complete the authorization. Jumping back to the SSH session, all we need to do is press enter. The authentication will complete. Now we're signed in. We have our Kerberos ticket. And we can execute IPA commands. Our host name here, 172.3.1.176.233. And indeed, that's this machine here. So the machine came up, automatically joined to the domain, and we were able to log in as a user defined in that domain using the IPA external IDP authentication mechanism. And that concludes the demo.